It's not designed the way I would make a tool for playing in my band, but as a tool for him playing the kind of music he plays and in the Dead Company, it's absolutely perfect. I think the way it all started is that John had a need. He was going to go out on tour with the Dead Company, and he needed a guitar that got those tones for that kind of music, for that band, for that Garcia thing. There were an awful lot of the things that he trusted us as guitar makers to do, and there were a lot of things that he was insistent about. It's the same thing, you know, with Carlos Santana or with Mark Tremonti or Neil Schon or John McLaughlin or any of these great musicians. They have these really deep needs to get a tone and a sound a certain way, and they need the guitar to do that job for them. This is a tool for them to make their living on, right?
The initial concept was a 22 fret, 408 bass, narrow field middle, 408 treble pickup configuration with 8 mini toggles. To my understanding, Jerry Garcia's guitar had very similar layout and pickup selection and coil tapping abilities and things of that nature, so we were trying to emulate that concept.
He needed that tone for the tour, right? And it was a combination of the guitar and his hands and the pedal board and the amp and all that stuff. And I've talked to John about it. He spends a lot of time in admiration and appreciation and understanding of what Jerry was doing when he's playing. He's actually almost seeing the man play when he plays to try to make sure that he stays in that groove for that band. It's very cool. He was very particular about the scale length, how much tension was going to be on the strings when he was bending it. You know, when you have a tremolo and you bend the string up, the arm goes down a little bit, so there was a piece of that. I had suggested that maybe we go a little bit shorter than 25.5 so it wasn't so stiff. You know, very, very often people with 25.5-inch scale guitars will tune down to E flat or D. John had us change the headstock a little bit as well. If you look, it's a little bit offset from the back because when he was used to playing his bolt-on guitars, when he slid down, he didn't want to hit the headstock as hard with his hand. And so we took a bunch of material out of here and made it a little bit offset, and we rounded the horns a little bit. It's still a PRS headstock, but it's relaxed a little bit. The preamp was intended to give him another flavor, and when he first turned it on, he says, "Oh, HD." It sounded like it was like a sound equivalent to HDTV to him. We didn't have it add volume. We just had it be low impedance, and Josh basically understands how to make these incredibly low noise but also really gorgeous sounding circuits. And then I said, and we need a treble boost on it too, and he did this very gentle shelf which added a little bit of pretty crystalline stuff up top without being ice picky in any way. I'll tell you an interesting story. When we did the F-hole in the guitar to try to make it more hollow and more loud, he wanted to know what it sounded like without the F-hole in it, so we sent him a whole bunch of wooden beads, and he filled the entire cavity with wooden beads so that he could hear it, what it would sound like if it didn't have the cavity and what it did. And he said, took all the magic out and he shook them right out immediately, right? But that part was done. So John Mayer has been delivered his new Super Eagle 2s for this tour, and they're different than the original ones, the yellow ones. They are a beautiful kind of light olive green color. The inlay materials are different. It was just an honor to be able to get the nod to make the instrument for that tour, and it's all good. It's just all flavors of good. Here we go. There's more Super Eagles coming, Super Eagle 2s.